from Training.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be a broadcast engineer for today. Hello, Nick. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. So today we are basically continuing our mini makeover series. Just basically, y'all send in files, and Nick works on them and adds all sorts of UI adjustments and performance enhancements if it needs it. We've been mostly working on smaller files, so it's mostly just UI design updates. So another fun shenanigans. It's always cool to have your work reviewed by a senior FileMaker developer, and Nick is very good at what he does. So we're having that. That'll be really fun. This Friday, I don't know what we're doing actually. I suspect I'll kidnap Richard and something will occur. Uh, Tuesday we have FileMaker Action News, short and sweet. The news thing was this week, but then it moved. Um, if you've been a long time viewer of the channel, you know what that means. If you support the channel, like buying one of these subscriptions, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. If you haven't looked at this, give it a look. I find that a lot of people like our streams. They like our short form video content. Well, it depends. If you like our streams and you enjoy the community, that's a lot of fun. But some people look for very specific topics to be answered. We don't necessarily do that in streams. Look at our paid subscription model, 100 plus hours of highly animated, shorter video content. About 10 minutes is, I think, our average video length. So if you would look at all this, you're like, FileMaker is a super great platform. I really want to use it, but I don't want to code this and that. Like you look at your UI, you're like, I don't want to fix this. Or you look at API calls, you're like, I don't want to do that. We have a great team of senior engineers who are perfectly happy to help you. Feel free to reach out to us at support@rcconsulting.com. With that all being said, I think I'm going to hand it over to you, Nick, and get us started. Wait,
Yes.
I did that like in a minute. I talk way too fast. That was Speedy McSpeedy Marks.
Yes.
Well, that was.
So today we do the day two on this new series about the makeover. So pretty much you send a file to us, and we fix what we think we need to be fixed on the file, and we do that live and without any prep. That means we are, then um, you can see how it is done, right? How and you can see the decision maker, and you can learn, we do like a makeover. That means we don't prep. That means we see the file, we decide what we need to do, and the most important thing, the most interesting thing in that process is how it is done. What we do first to fix things, like we did yesterday. So yesterday, pretty much what we did is we went there. Where's the layout? Here. So we went there. So we came from this, right? So it was like this, right? Then we analyzed a little bit. We sorted out a little bit the thing, right? To make sure that, we analyze the thing, and we decide that we're going to make those our groupments of object, gathering of object like this, right? And now we start building the new layout, right? Based on a much modern approach and a good design practices. Okay. So before we start, I want to teach you a little bit about design fundamental, let's say. Okay. Everything in design, everything on computer design, I know I'm not saying about all design, but on computer design, everything is column-based design, right? So it's column-based, everything. If we take one example, you open that our settings in Apple settings, right? So what do you see here? One column and another column. When you click here, right? When you click, I don't know, this, right? Well, you have another column, and toggle with one column, another one. See? So everything is column based. If you look a basic app like the App Store, right? Well, here we have a column of one, right? Here we have two columns, right? Yeah. So this is a column 1, right? Then we have a column of 2, and then a column of 3. 1, 2, 3 columns. The 2 columns here. It's one block, but it's one column, right? Here too, we have one column. This is one column, and this is another one, right? Same here, right? And as you can see here, it's very important to have alignment. We need to have a good alignment. Everything is aligned, right? Everything here is aligned. Everything, see? Everything is aligned. So, and if we go back down, right? See, all of this, everything is based like this, column, column, column. Here's the same. Here's the same. We have 2 columns, 1, 2, right? Everything is like this, right? And we can even go to, so if we go back to our stuff here, right? You need to think everything as a column. So let me, my screen is small and the layout is big. So let me think if I can, So this is also, columns, 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 columns. See? Rum, like this. Everything needs to be in columns. Okay? So how we nest those columns together, this is another story. Okay? But first, we need to think about columns. Okay? So here, how we can continue to design our layout here, right? So we have this layout. Let me go back to the layout where we started, okay? And we have fields like this, right? And we want to organize those things, okay? Believe it or not, okay? But I am going to put everything, I'm going to put everything in here. Everything will stay here in this white column. Everything that you can see in this layout here, all of this will fit in this. And without look clumsy and cumbersome and, and field, okay? So this is what we are going to learn. So that means we are going to we are going to get all this space here free for other things, right? So I want you to learn this. This is why we're here. We're here because we get this, right? And we are going to learn how to build our own kitchen. Remember the kitchen with the cabinets, drawers, and stuff like this, okay? So the first thing we need to make sure we got the most important thing first. We put in the layout the most on like this here, like we did here. We did a prearrange, like so let me put that correctly. We prearranged the the objects in this, right? So we are going to replicate those things here and put them here, right? But we are going to learn how to make those address stuff, right? Okay, so let's start dropping objects, right? So first, we need to put this one, right? The dojo name. Okay, we're going to put that first, right? And here. So how to look for a field? Maybe you don't know that. Maybe you know. Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. How you can search for a field in that list? Well, click here, and now, see? So they hid their search box here. So when you click here, you actually can search a field, right? Okay. So dojo names. Okay. So in this in this theme that I built for you, okay, the labeling of how to put the label is very important. For example, when you here you see on the bottom here, see, I'm talking about this here, the label. Okay. By default, this is the default. When you drag and drop a field, right, you drag like this. The label on the left. Okay. If you click here and you drag like this, the label on top, right? If you click here, you drag, there's no label. And if you drag like this, when you drag, you have the label in the placeholder. So pretty much when you put the exact name of the fields, right? If you put the exact name of the field in the placeholder, well, that's do this. So here, see, he said he put the label here. Here I have the label on the left. Here I have the label on the top, and here I have the label inside the field. If you put the exact name of the label of the fields, if you rename, you know, if you rename the fields, also that changed the name in the, it should have. Well, they broke it. They broke it. That a bug. They have a bug, and they broke everything because even this didn't change. See, they should have changed. They broke something here. Normally, it's changed the name of the label. This is a nasty bug. Am I with the labels? Yeah. Wow. So they broke this, right? I mean, you can confirm. Normally, when you change the name of the field, it should have changed the name of the label. So they broke it. Thank you, FileMaker. I mean, this to me is broken. Or do I? Yeah, this is the field, right? See, they broke it completely. Okay, so never mind. We discover a bug because normally they should have renamed the label. Okay, but anyway, what the most important thing here? Let me rename this. So this is a bug or whatever, a feature change or whatever. So in my design, this design here, and generally on the layout design, I don't use this pattern, right? Because you waste a ton of real estate, right? Because what this means? It means that if you have in this column, if you have one field with a large name like this one or this one, right? That means you need, you need to give all this space, all this need to be free. Yeah, but here I don't need that space. Here too, here, all this space I'm wasting, right? So I waste all of this space here is wasted all of this, right, is wasted totally, right? So, and that's why this is not a good design at all. It's not. So what do we do instead? Okay. We put the label on top. Okay. So why? Well, if the label is this is a very large label and I can fit all in. Okay, well, so I can put the label, the size, text I want. I have all the length of the field. Okay, all the width of the field to put my label. Okay. More of all, in this design, this theme, I made it in a way that everything is very simpler and it's very simple to use. For example, there's no borders, no backgrounds, no lines, no shadow, no everything in that object in the field. That means you can do whatever you want with the field, right? It's easy to organize, use, maintain, modify. There's one field, there's nothing, no border, nothing, right? And you will see that you don't need. Okay. For this label, we have another treatment here. Okay, because automatically when you drag a field like this, the text of the label that comes with the drag and drop of the field in the layout, it comes with a default text, right? It comes with a default text style, okay? But this is not what I want. I want a style because it's way too big. It's way too big because when you do this, right? Well, where is the field and where is the label, right? See, where's the field? Where is the field and where is the label? You can read that, it's unreadable, it's not comfortable. So instead, let's do this. I have 3 labels here. I have label 1, 2, and 3. So what it means? Label center left, label centered, and label right. Left, right, center. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what interests me is this, right? Is to have this, right? So now I have my good label with my field. So it's simple. Here, pretty much you put 12, the 8 here, and then, so you put 12 here, and then you glue this to the, no, you see what I mean? Up is glued, right? You glue that here and here. Up, see, boom, see the guide? Okay. So you glue that here and here. You have the perfect alignment and the perfect here and here, the perfect spacing to have something good, right? When you select, see? When you select, you see the border of what you selected, right? So this is one field, okay? So now we are going to continue. So the theme has been designed that way to be very easy. No border here. There's no border, no boxes in the boxes, and here neither. I don't need a box here. I have no box. Yeah, I have one box where in focus, right? In focus, yes, because this is when you know the field is in focus. Okay. So now I want to put other thing here. Okay. I want to put the first name and last name. Okay. Correct. So what do I do? Well, you could go there and drag and drop the field and stuff, but instead, I have a better way to do that. You select these two here, right? And you drag like this, So again, you drag with Option Alt key and you duplicate, right? You duplicate this. So, and you can change, say, okay, what it is, it's last name, okay, it's our first name, which I never do. I never put first name, I say first. And then we have, what's the name of the field here? It's first name. And here you duplicate this and you put the last name. Okay. And last. Okay. So for the spacing, I'm going to show you how to do that later, okay? For the spacing. So it will be interesting game to play, right? So we can continue like this and put all the fields like this, right? So here, this is my first block, right? This is my first block. I have this, the first name, last name, okay? So I can continue, put the second block here, right? And we have those fields, okay? So for the status, depending on the status, but I think the status, there's a lot of status here. Yes, you have a lot of status, okay? So for the status, okay, so you duplicate this and you put the status. Actually, I could have put the status in the same box, okay? Yeah, oh no, we have another, before the status, we have other thing before the status. We have another field. Before those, we have those. Okay? The chief instructor and rank. Okay? So we can continue like this and put the fields. Okay? And I can show you something interesting. I want to transfer this to this. Okay? You can do that, and you can go and select the label, okay, and resize. There's too many things to do. I don't like it. The best is you copy this, you paste here, and it will get automatically, right? Because you have put a custom style in the objects. When you paste, it pastes directly, right? Because you have a custom style, right? So it's convenient because instead of clicking here, selecting the label, resize this, to 12, right? It take more time than just copy this and paste. And here, chief, boom. Now we continue, right? Duplicate this, copy this if you want, and then rank, right? That done. Now let's continue with those three, right? Let's put that in the same box, right? So something else we can do, you can select those three if you want. You can do that, right? So I show you how our, 35 plus experience in FileMaker to help you to, save time. Okay. I want to do those three in one shot, okay? I'm going there, right? And I say revert change to style. So now I am on the same as this one, okay? But you see, doing this now is truncated. No worries. Just, you do this. Okay, look, okay. Here they are all, they are all small, right? So they are all smaller than the minimum possible, okay? When you do that. Select the free. See the handle here? You see this, and then you pull. Bam. Now they're perfect. They are like this, 25. I do it again. You have this like this. You select the free and you pull. Bam. A little bit. And now we have those free fields ready, right? So what about those? Okay. You select those, okay? And then you go there and you say, okay, I want them labeled 1. As you can see, they are, what's the name? They are not aligned correctly, right? And they are bigger. Well, you know how much the height is, here is 12 or 13, it should be 12 or 13. Okay, 13. Okay, whatever. I'll put 12 here, but 13 can do. 13 can do. So they're 13. Okay. So here, now we need to use those alignment tool here, right? So here you align to the left, right? And then you go here in the 8th. So when you select one object, the height here is the height of that object. When you select multiple objects, the height is from the top of that object to the bottom of the latest object. Okay? This is 75. This is 17. This is 18. This is 18. But altogether, from here to here, you have 75. But it's gray. You see, it's gray. It's not black like this. If I do this and I say 12 or 13, what do you think it happened? This. It will resize all 3 objects with the 13 point what I want. And now the total of those, it was before 75, but if I resize this to 13, now it's 70, the 8 on this. But good news, I have my good, my fields, See, very easy. So now before we go to the question, right? So we want to reorganize all of this and make it pretty, right? So here, they're not aligned. So how I know they're not aligned? Because this left is gray. When you select 2 objects perfectly aligned on the left, it said is black. But if I have one and another not aligned like this, it says it put the smallest amount on the left, which is 36, the 306, and this one is on 309. So this one is more on the left than this one. So it gives you this object, right? That means the block you selected goes from 306 to 559. Okay. So how we do a perfect alignment of those? You select all of those, right? Oh, by the way, before, a recap on the selection in FileMaker. We have 2 selections in FileMaker, 2 modes. The click and drag, see, a drag, when you drag a marquee, right? That's what we call that a marquee, okay. So we have click and drag and touch is selected. Touch selected. Touch, touch, touch. We have the touch, drag and touch. Okay? That makes a selection. And then we have the other one, the hidden one, which is a drag and embrace. Completely embrace, boom. Now, boom is embrace, boom is embrace, boom, boom. If I do this, bam, everything go out because none are embraced. If I do this, bam, all of those. So we have the drag and touch and the drag and embrace. But here, if I do the drag and touch, here what I do, I select all of those. I don't want to select the white underneath. Though I don't want to select those. I want to drag, I want those. I want just these, not this and not this. Well, here I can. Touch, embraced. I embrace this and this. Well, this is not, the two white are not added in my selection. All right? So you select this, and now you align to the left. Boom, they're all aligned. All of those are aligned to the left. Okay? Now I want to do something else. I want them to resize to the largest width. I want all of them to be the same width, label included. So now I have a block. See? It's a perfect block. Left, right, same for all of them, right? So now that I have this, right? I can do something. I can, because now here is good, it's okay, right? But it's not what I want, right? It's not what I want. It is missing something. Okay. It's missing this. It's missing a shape, a line. So, okay, something. Can we draw a line? How to make sure you draw a perfect line? How you make sure it's not like this, right? How to make sure you draw a perfect line? This is perfect. Well, you select the shape, right? You press Shift in your keyboard and you draw the line. The line will be always, you can, even if I do this, see, if I remove the Shift, it do this. If I put the Shift, it stick. I need to do this. See, I can do this or this. See? But if I release the Shift, I do this. But if I put Shift, I do this. Right? So with the Shift, I know I will do a perfect line. Oops. Hold on. Perfect line. So I put my perfect line here. See, I put my line on the field. Okay? On the field here. The line is on the field. See the field? I touch the field, but a little bit down. Right? So now I can duplicate this on the field and one down. Okay? Same here on the field and one down. Okay, here, no, I don't need that. I will show you why. So I do this on the field and down. On the field and down, one down, right? I duplicate the field down, the field down, the field down. So, and here I don't need. I'll show you why. So now I have something better. Correct? It is better. Okay. So before we go to the question, I don't know, I didn't open Discord, so I don't know. Do we have a question, Marge?
Yeah, well, hold on. Is that a question or is that just a discussion? Give me a second. I'm reading through some YouTube stuff real fast. Okay. Oh, there's a comment asking, yesterday Nick had a way to put in FN and LN without spaces. May I use that in my solution? Could you please show that formula again?
FN? Oh, first name, last name without...
Spaces, yes.
Oh, yeah, it's a full name. Like this. You create a list, so I can explain that again. So I use that trick a lot for many things. So you instead of doing like Nick space and under, right? Instead of doing this, right? You do this. You put a list. Oops, of those two. You have a list, correct? With a Claris return. So what you do is you substitute from the list the Claris return and you put a space. You replace the Claris return, if any, with a space. That means if you have no last name, there's no extra space, or if you have no first name, there's no extra space. I'm taking care of this. Because the action is to replace the Claris return. There's only one between those two by a space. If you say Nick Paul Hunter, I don't know, enter Carlton, for example, okay? Well, it still works because you are replacing, Claris return, right? So the space is here. The space you put yourself. So you see, it works. Okay, that's all.
Yep, that's all for the moment. So.
Okay. So let's continue. See here, it started looking good. Clear, nice. Okay. So what I want to do here, I want to show you something. What I'm using a lot to make those space, to make those well arranged. Okay. So what you do here, that's why this is very useful. The embraced and not the touch. See, it's hard here to make a selection. I want to select those three objects and group them. Then I want to do those three objects and group them. Three object, group them. Three object, group them. Three object, group them. Three object, group them. And three group and two group. So now look what I can do here. Here, obviously, they're not distributed correctly. Here, they're not distributed correctly, right? So I want to distribute those objects correctly. I group them because now if the distribution will be even between those three objects. And what I call the distribution is this. Not this. Distribution is, they changed the icon. This one. Yeah, space. Okay, the space. See, it distributes automatically. Let's say, let's say I do this, and this, for example, right? See, they're not. So if I select those and I say space, poof, it is distributed evenly with those three objects. Same here. I can do this, boom. Okay. And then I place that in the center, and voila, I have my fields organized. Oops. Right. So now they are fully organized perfectly. And you notice that I don't need the space, I don't need the bar here on this one, because it's the end of my section. At the end of the section, I don't want an extra bar. It looks too heavy. Okay. Actually, it's a little bit, I can do this a little bit and a little bit here as well, right? Now it looks perfect. See? Right? It looks good. Advantage, right? The label is there just to tell you what it is. It's not there to scream at you, right? The importance is the data. It's not the label. It's not the most important, right? The label is not important. It's just for you to, in case you lost what it is, right? You can see it, okay? So, other thing you need to know. Remember, I group those. This is group, group, group. Let's say I want to continue and arrange those, those fields where I can duplicate the block, right? And then you can edit. So if you click and click again, see, now I selected an object within the group. Look, here, this is a group. I have one group here, right? See? One group. So here, I can edit, I can go and select an object in the group, right? Even though what I typically do when I'm done with the alignments, I select all of this and I ungroup all, because it's too much to have those groups, you understand? Or you can keep them, up to you. I tend not to group them, but you can group or ungroup them and use for the alignments, and then you can ungroup it. It's up to you. So let's continue. Before, yeah, I have about 15 minutes. I have enough to explain that. Let's take care. So now all of this is easy. I mean, here I think it was a pop-up menu. It was a dojo name, complete name, right? So you see this theme is well built, because the pop-up menu, right? It looks like this. Oh, right? See, it looks good, simple, right? So same here. I have the rank. Let's put rank. It's a pop-up menu, rank, and status. Status is a drop down, right? So drop down, rank, drop down, right? Even though we're going to arrange that differently, for this. I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? first, before we do that, I want to show you how we deal with this. Okay. Obviously, we don't need that. The address, we don't need the address like this, we really don't need. We want an address that we can read, right? But we don't need to see all of this like this, okay? So how we do that? What I want, okay, what I want to do, so let's say I have this address here, okay? So what I need to do is to present the address, right, in a very simple way, okay? I don't want to see that like this. Before, we needed to have an extra field for that, okay? But now we don't need to do a field for that. But it could be nice sometime to have a field. But I'm going to show you the both ways, okay? First, we do a layout calculation, right? And what we say in the layout calculation. We say it's a let statement, okay? And the address is equal to a list of the address field, right? And the city field and the states. Actually, it has a state short. Short state, no. Oh, I thought it had a state short. We're in Canada, so that's why they don't. And zip and the country. So that's my address, right? Okay, so now I want to substitute. So I have a list. I'm substituting the address and I'm doing the same trick as their first name, last name. I build a list and I replace the character return I have with a space. So this is my calc and I get this. So I get one line with the what's the name? The address. Okay? So now that I have this, right? So this is one way. One way you can have the address like this. So what do I want for the address? I want a popover button, right? This is a popover button. And I'm going to put this address here, right? In the popover button title. Okay? So I copy this and I put here. So now my popover address will be this. Okay? Hold on. I need to do this. Okay? This is my popover address. Why it goes there? because why does because it doesn't have wait. See the address here. Okay. So, but we need to do something because what happened if I have no address, right? Well, that's why we need to modify the calc here. Oops. Why did that? Let's modify the calc here. Oops, it's everything is. See what happened? When I copy paste this from the, it's weird, huh? What it did. Anyway, they had some bugs though. I know they play they are playing a little bit with their they're playing with some stuff and they might have broken stuff. Okay, so what do I do? Okay, I do this. If is empty address, right? Otherwise, so what happened? That's why I put a let statement. I gather this. If this is empty, that means there's no address. So instead of displaying this, it display no address instead, right? So this is my calc. So let's put this on the side because I don't want to ruin it each time I copy paste in there. So now I'm pasting that here in this, right? And let's put 16. Okay. So I'll put that here. Right? So I have this, but if I have no address, no address. See? So this is one way to do that, right? The address. Yeah, that's annoying though. But anyway. So, but I think I have another theme here. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, this. Yeah, this. Okay. So that's my address. Okay. So I can, how many address? Because I have multiple address here. I have address, I have the shipping address, right? So this is my address. So I'm going to put that here, maybe here in a dedicated, like this. And I'm treating this as a field, nothing less, nothing more. Okay. I'm treating this as a field. But this is a pop-over button. So that means I can put something here. I can put a button here, right? And I like to put the button, I want to put it black, right? So normal over, I like to put it black, right? So here I have my address like this. Now that I have this, I can put all of those inside the popover. So you select this and you say revert to change. You tickle a little bit, boom. See? They came all of this like this, right? Then you can you drag a little bit this one down here and you select all of them and then you say distribute. So now I have more space between, even a little bit more, right? Right? Now you select those again. You click here and you say labels. Okay. Now they are all centered to the left. Remember 13 on 8. Now I'll show you something else, something cool. You put this one here, right? On top of the here. And you put the last one here and the first one here. Right? Correct? And now you can just put this here and this here and this here, whatever, we don't care if they're not. And then you select those and you say distribute. Boom. They're perfectly aligned. And then you can select this. Look this now. You select one of those. You put that here. Right? See here, it's perfectly, is on, here is on top, one down. See, on top, one down. See, top, one down. You duplicate this. So you, okay, do it again. You have one position. You duplicate and you position the second one here and down. Now what you do, you duplicate, and that's it. He knows, he remember where it was, you know. So let me do it again. You position that here where you want to be, okay? And one down. You duplicate what you just do. You position here, one down, and then you duplicate again. It will remember exactly like it where it was. The difference between this one, it replicates. So now I have my block of address. Okay. I can open my popover, you know, put address here, select my objects, put in the popover, resize the popover, and now I have my address block. If I put an address, is there. Okay, oops. It's the, I don't want that to happen. Oh, I'm showing you what I'm showing is this. Okay. Why this is not centered? I said centered. Oh, because it's 25. I don't want this. Okay. So now I have an address. Obviously, okay. Obviously, it's an address. Now, if you want, as I said, I treat this as a field. So you can put this like a field and you put here address, right? Is treated as a field. So now you have this address, right? So let me make sure that this is position left, resize, and this is 16. Okay. So address, you click here and you have your address. But now in my layout, all address fields are not ruining my real estate. because I don't need to see all of those fields. I want these fields when I need to change them, but it's not always. Okay? So this is how you save real estate in your layout. And that is one trick. One thing we're going to see a lot. Okay? Because building a layout is the magic, the beauty and the difficulty is to put everything there and to make your layout that doesn't look clumsy and busy and hard to read, right? This is extremely hard to read, Well, this is not. You have clarity, right? We have plenty of real estate and we can see everything we need to see, right? And you will see that I'm going to continue and you will see that it will be also, you don't have to lose visibility when you organize. Because I know you guys will say, oh, yeah, but I need everything. I want everything. I want to see everything. Oh, yeah. Okay. But you see everything. The address there, right? You see everything. So far, in this block here, I'm showing all of those, right? And for the status, for this status here, for the payments, we can do another treatment, more fun. I'm going to show that tomorrow. And tomorrow we continue to organize this thing,
That sounds good to me.
If we have any question.
Uh, just people say, oh, we do have a question. Why? Okay, we have questions sneaking in. Why don't you do the same as the address for the first and last name?
But that I just did. What do you mean by the same? Is what I did, substitute first name, last name, and for the address, that's the same thing. I did the same thing.
They're typing, so I'm gonna let them finish typing. Use a popover for first and last name in one line.
Yeah, sometime I do. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sometime I do. And because I want to, okay, I wanted to advance slowly, right? So, yeah, I can do the same for first name, last name. Makes sense to me, right? And actually, it's easy, because you have the same calc here. So you do this, right? You do this, right? And you can do the same thing. Instead of saying address, you say name, right? And it's the list of first and last. Okay, oops. And you remove those. It's the same calc. See? If it's M3 name, you say untitled and otherwise name. Boom, you have your calc. So now you can duplicate this. You put this here, right? And you say in the popover name here, you say full name, right? Right? And here you select those, delete, you select those 3 items, drag here. This is 16. And voila. and even more space saved. Okay? So yeah, it's this is you know, I don't like those. So how to foresee here? It entered everything in capital letter. I don't like it, you know. So you go there, you click here, style, and you say you want title case. You force the style. Even though it is entered like this, I don't care. It shows the way I want. Just to let you know that. Or there's another way, because this is fake. Meaning, if I copy this and I put that in a text field, if I put, see, it copied capital, not like this. This is fake. If you want to make it real, here you do. This field here, though it's a dojo name, okay? Dojo name. I go there, dojo name, right? And here you say uh, proper. Proper is a title case. You know, the first letter of each word, capital. Okay. Proper self. Whatever you put inside that field, automatically plumb. But that is real, not fake. Demonstration. I remove the style. So now it's back. But let's say I'm doing this now. And I select this. Boom. But now it's real. If I copy this and I paste it here, it's real. It's not fake. It changed, boom. It changed the real text. It converted it, not just you know, on the surface. Right? So just you say, you know, the here proper self, boom. No, self mean everything you put inside that field on itself. Right? I use that a lot to avoid this. Okay, so we have some explanations. So how do you adapt this? How do you adapt this address list calc to be more of the mailing address?
Mm-hmm. I.e. multiple lines.
What do you mean, Ken? Is the popover used for data entry and modification? Mike, you need to explain to me that okay, so we did that. Okay, Ken is typing, I think. You know, multiple lines. What do you mean? Show me you know, treat me like ChatGPT. You know, show me a screenshot. If I wanted the address to be formatted in the mailing label format instead of one line, yet removing the empty. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, but that's easy. Okay, you just leave it as is. You don't do you use the list demonstration. I do a calc here for the demo, right? Just for the demo. Let's copy this list here because it's there, so I don't need to copy it again. If I put this here like this, right? okay? And I do this. Why? Oh, I need to. He doesn't understand it as a what's the name? Okay. So if let's say I have an address here, okay, and I have 123 Main Street, right? City Santa Clara. I have no state province. I have 5, 4, 6, 7. I don't know, right? Well, you're doing is the list is doing that for you, right? Just the list is doing that for you. Now, what you can do, you can I don't know who said that, Anko, you know, and you can list, for example, let's say you want Santa Clara and the zip code on the same line, right? Which is, you know, pretty standard, right? Or you want Santa Clara, state, and the zip code on the same line, right? So here you do. So this three, so first we need a let's, okay? Then we have the street equal this, correct? Then we have the mailing block. Let's call it, okay? Let's say mailing. The mailing is this, those three. In the US, what is it's the city, yeah, it's this. Yeah, Stockton, California. Okay, see, this. Okay, so that is the list of those. Okay, that's the list. And then we have the country, if you want to add it. This. So now that I have this, you know, I can organize my stuff. I want the mailing to be reorganized. Okay, so I want to flatten flatten mailing equal substitute the mailing and you replace this with this. Okay. And now that you have your stuff done, actually I can reorganize this a little bit. So everything is organized correctly now. Okay. My let is done. I can do the calc. What the calc is a list. That's why I'm using a list a lot because with this, it's a list of streets, the flattened mailing, and the country. Okay, and so actually I can. This is substitute. Oops. My list Okay, substitute my list, and I remove this with a space. Okay, so I have two substitutes here. One for the mailing. Oh, you don't want to flatten. I don't need that. Sorry. I don't need that. Yeah. Okay, so this I just need a list because we flatten. You want to flatten or just this. So this. So let's see how it looks. And if I put a country, oh, see? Let's say I don't put a city, no city, right? I have no space. Let's say I'm putting a state. Let's say I'm putting a state and a city. No zip. Let's say no streets. Address, street. See, move up. The list substitute is perfect. Just you need to do what, this is very simple. You do multiple way, you do multiple state. First, you gather your address. Then you gather what you want to flatten. You flatten what you want to flatten, right? And then and then at the end, you pile up those three components, and this will be flattened. But the list will remove streets from the list if street is empty. Very simple. I don't, no need of those crazy thing you guys do sometimes. So, right? So I can call that, that address label or mailing, let's copy the code. Address mailing. Put the code here. Remove this, and then address mailing here. Let's put an address 123 main street. Oof. See? That's it. Right? So yeah, typically is yes, typically that in the US. So you can have, but you have, and sometimes there's a comma between state and zip and whatever it is. As a
People are
field
still
to enter or
typing.
modify. Yeah, as a field to enter or modify an address, city, state, or zip. Yeah. Okay, the pi icon at the bottom. Okay, yeah. How this works? Okay, yeah, this is tricky. So let's dissect this. Okay. So first, this is the group. Okay. And as a side control, and inside I have this. Okay, why I do this? Okay, I'll show you what. If I get this chart object outside, so hold on. I need to. This is how it looks like. Okay. Okay, so here I have this is just it's a square. So I have my chart. The chart is small, right? I can make it big and small, right? So this is a chart, and the chart is made as this, right? So pretty much I'm listing the get total record count and the get found count, right? For the category labels, okay? But the most, that the current style, I take the blue, to mimic the FileMaker-ish, right? And the calc is this, you know, this is the calc. This is my old calc. I can remove it. Okay. Is this? This is the calc. No, this is not the calc though. This is a tile.
I never know how charts work. I always get
Yeah,
lost in the
no, it's
font.
this data source. Yeah, yeah, this is the label, slice data. No, this is it. This is the calc. Sorry. This is it. This is the calc to get the slice data, right? So here, see, to get this, to mimic this, see here. Let me take a screen. Let me take a screenshot of this. To mimic this, right? So to mimic it perfectly, I put a gray circle on top of it. Right? So now I did this. See? It looked like the Apple one, the FileMaker. So, and if you see show all, and if you start to omit, and then you omit all, right? Show all. And I reversed it because there was the chart goes clockwise, not counterclock. See, you do counterclock. See, it's counterclocking. So, and to do this, yeah, this is the button. See, I'll show me. To do this is the, this and the get found count minus this is how it works. Yeah, charts is so to make it small, because I want to make it small, it need to be small like this. So you resize it the way you want, okay? And then you resize this the way you want. Let's say you want to make a bigger version, for example, right? So now you need to find like a odd versus, to make this. See, it's not good. You need to find a pixel. Sometimes it's hard to find. Up, almost. I need to add a pixel. Oh, yes, that's why. It will be the same here. Okay. But see, it need to be 29. Okay, we're good. Okay. So Yeah, because the ratio need to be odd, even, depending on the, okay. So now I have a slide control. This is a slide, okay? This is a size of your stuff, but you don't want to have something like that big because you can't put, you see, it's too big because this is and we can crop this, but yes, we can. I put those two objects into the slide control. Now they are inside the slide control, right? And now those two objects, I can put them outside of the slide control. So I put them at the edge of the slide control, inside the slide control. Or yeah, to do that, you need to use the coordinates. Yeah, I know it's super, you need to use the coordinates. Left, see the coordinate here, you put like 300 and 300 is too much, 400, 450, that's okay. And lefts, you put like 280 is too much. Yeah, 300. So now see the objects here. So now I can close this, right? And now these objects, this group of objects, right? I can put them. Yeah, I know. That's why you don't worry. Copy, paste, and that's it. Copy the group and forget about it. But I think it looks good, because I don't like to show because when you have a final layout, right? This is a final layout. And let me show you. Okay, so this is something I'm working on. So this is the final layout. See? So it's clean, right? And you have a menu here with options, right? And so, yeah, looks good. So I'm building something cool here. Here I have a list of documents. So I'm using this as a placeholder. And right? So it looks like this, right? Is my piano my pinball stuff. But so I have documents like this, but I want to be able to select multiple from the lists. I want to be able to select and move and delete and export, right? So I have an edit mode. You edit the list, and then you can select, and then you can go there and say save, delete, move, whatever. And here you have option. You can show the selected only, right? Or show all, or clear the selection, right? So this is UI, So, and when you have none selected, this is great, right? When you select at least one, it should be. I have a bug here. If I have only one, no, it's yeah, I need to. Yeah, I need to commit, I think. Huh. It's a refresh. It's a refresh issue. I need to refresh this object. It's okay. I'm working on this. I'm on it. So, Yeah, I can make this file available. I mean, if the person will send the file, if he send it to us, I think we can share it. Marge, can you
Can
do
I
you?
email them back and ask? Is that what you want me to do? Or
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't mind to send the file to,
okay, I will send an email about that.
yeah. Because
Okay.
I don't see any problem. We can send every day. We can send a file with the latest updates.
Yes. All right. Uh, thank you, Nick. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you all for asking questions.
Yeah, I like questions.
Yes. Have a good one, everybody.
Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow then.
Absolutely. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.